Hello and welcome to Build Series Sydney. I am your host and friend Danny Clayton, and joining me right now, all singing, all dancing, all ice skating, international woman of mystery, Melody Thornton. Please make her feel welcome.
Hello.
Look, I can't go any further into this interview without acknowledging how spectacular you look.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I didn't wear my disco suit outfit, otherwise one of us would have to change.
Yeah, that would be bad. But the Libra, we've talked about this. Libras get really, really dressed up, so it would be you that changes. Sorry.
And Taurus, I mean, we're supposed to be stubborn, but I'd definitely change. I wouldn't want to argue with that.
Aw.
Do you know how we are supposed to interact?
I had a really
Taurus.
good friend that was a Taurus,
Okay.
and she was great.
Drop it on me.
Yeah, she was just really disciplined and liked things her way, and it she didn't judge anybody, but she wanted her thing her way. And yeah, I mean, she was actually kind of quiet and shy.
Okay.
So it was
Very
strange
different
that
to
we
your
were
friend.
friends. Yeah, but she was my one solid friend. I had a
Okay.
white Jeep in high school.
Oh, you
and they
didn't.
called us Sharon D.
Oh no. Did you do that thing where you pumped music and then kind of made a big scene when you pulled into that car park at school? Or?
No, because my Jeep was definitely like a hoopty Jeep. It wasn't like tight and right.
Okay.
I couldn't afford the little vinyl top, and I was like, one day I'm gonna get a top. One day. And
Yeah.
I sold it.
You never did.
No.
Did Papa help you buy that one? Did Theo Thornton sort you out with that Jeep?
You know what's really weird is he did, but so I kept saying I wanted a Jeep. He did buy my sister a Honda, right? So it was, I don't know, 2001, and he got her an 86 or an 85 Honda, and he's like, I did that for you. There you go. Whereas everybody else were like, dang, I like my friend's car. It's got AC. It's got air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
So he did. He was like, oh, you want a Jeep? Okay, great. So he went out and he got me a Mitsubishi Montero, which is not a Jeep. And I got really mad.
I mean,
So he was like, well, then you have to sell it and get the money back. And I did. I got my Jeep. I saved up the rest of the moolah to get I wanted a white Jeep Wrangler.
Independent woman right there.
Yes. But because I couldn't afford a top and I had what we called 0 hour. It wasn't even the first class. It was the class before your high school. The rest of your classmates show up. 0 hours, extra credit. And it was extremely, extremely cold. I had to have a rider's jacket. That's what I called it, my rider's jacket, because I couldn't afford a top. So
dear.
it's driving stick, bombing it to school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
get there fast.
Nowadays, I'm sure you wouldn't have to ask your dad to help you sort yourself out with a Jeep. You can drive whatever you want as a successful singer, songwriter, dancer, girl. Now, I've just heard about the great news that you are going to be the star of Rip It Up, a 70s inspired musical stage show.
Yeah.
It looks so much fun. Can you tell us a little bit about this show and why you want to be involved in this spectacular, on-stage show?
Yeah, I love music from the 60s and 70s. My parents, they were kind of in their prime in the 70s, and my dad still uses 70s slang. He's like, nah, Jack. You know what I mean? He's like, that's a cold joker. He still talks like that from time to time,
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And my mom is from Mexico, so she came over when she was 15, and she really got into pop culture. And she had this really long Cher hair, but she would put it up in a bun, and she got this afro wig that she just really wanted an afro, and that's why she married my dad. So my hair would be curly, and from time to time I straighten my hair. She gets really annoyed. But anywho, that was their moment. She loves Donna Summers. My dad still only listens to blues music from and if it's not from the 60s and 70s, he's not into it. So.
Yeah, so they'd be thrilled that you're involved in this show. So Rip It Up is almost like a collection of the best songs from the 70s. Are there any numbers in the show that you're particularly excited about?
Well, we're still working out the creative, but I think I'm really grateful because they've been open to whatever it is that I'd like to sing, and so I'm like, okay, how about Wishing on a Star? And they're like, okay, well, we'll make that happen. I love the strings and the arrangements from that time period, so I think it's going to be great. And there's a lot of dancing as well. It's very high energy live stage musical production.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be great.
Yeah,
I'm happy about it.
You've done a fair bit of dancing in your career, enough for anyone really. A lifetime of dancing. So is it something that is like? Because I know that's almost like your second love.
Yeah.
I know that you're a vocalist, you're a singer, and that was your first love.
Yes.
But when we do look at dancing, is this something that you want to do constantly as well?
It's so funny because I find now that when I'm getting ready to sing, it's a little bit easier if I have some dancing involved because you're controlling your body, and it helps a lot with just combating nerves when you're using your body, like you're getting rid of anxiety anyway. So I did a morning show and I was like, oh, I should have went for a run or something, gosh. And I had to like hold my ponytail and jump in place, like get the blood going,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dance is my second kind of, I wouldn't even say it was my second. It's something that, I acquired this skill as a result of being in the Pussycat Dolls, and so I try and, use it when I can. But yeah, music and singing for me is kind of, that's my number one. Yeah, that's my passion.
Because that was a daily thing when you were with the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh, yeah.
Dancing. So you were, that was your 9 to 5 was shaking that booty,
Yeah, it was tough stuff, man, because the girls, all of my bandmates, had been dancing since they were like 2 or 3 years old.
Wow.
And when I auditioned for the Pussycat Dolls, I was the only person off the street. And when I say off the street, I'm saying like right out of high school, no experience in the industry, had never really been to Los Angeles, like Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
you had to get up to speed quickly.
Yeah, and they were very much like, oh, we love your voice. So, you're going to be doing a couple like, hand movements, but don't worry about it. Like the girls dance. And then we just shifted gears. I found myself like, I can't keep up with these girls. My God, And it was super challenging, but I got through it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I mean, how did you move so quickly from being someone that didn't have as much dancing experience to, being in a group which is very much about dancing? I mean, how did you get those skills so quickly?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Did you have a trainer, like just for you?
No. I mean, I still haven't taken a dance class to this day.
No, stop it. You're lying.
I don't have a like a, ooh, I want to go take dance, like I don't have that in me. If I have to do it, I know that I can pick up choreography, and I know when I'm watching a dancer, I know what to look for. So for me, it came down to a lot of studying, and I had to study my bandmates and see what they were doing and how they were getting from point A to point B, because I was more athletic. I just wasn't graceful, Yeah, I grew up playing sports and singing. That was it. So it was hard. Yeah. It was tough stuff.
I mean, gosh, when you think that it's been close to 10 years since you've left the Pussycat Dolls, so much has changed since then.
Yeah.
You've done so many incredible things. When you look back, do you look back with fondness, or would you say to yourself like, don't trust in your instincts, go solo, chase your dreams? What would you say?
I definitely would say that there is no, like, you can plan all you want, but you just never know how things are going to go. So the best thing to do, especially if you are an entertainer or if you aspire to be in the entertainment industry, you just keep enjoying your life. You know, I think people give up their quality of life to follow or like chase ambition and be like, it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna, and it's like, dude, if you're not enjoying yourself, then what happens is you'll get it and you'll be like, this isn't fulfilling me. It's like, doy. Yeah. Because you've not been having fun like along the way. So I'd say, I mean, that's really what I've learned. That's a lot has changed. Yeah, a lot has changed. But I would say in me, because when I was a kid, I just wanted to share my voice. It's like I loved what Christina Aguilera did for me. When I would watch her perform, I'd be like, yeah. I just want to sing, like you make me want to sing. And I love when people say that to me, if they write me on Instagram and say, oh my God, when I watch you sing, you make me want to sing. That's all I want. That's all I care about.
Because it was quite strange. It was almost like you had your own fans separate from, there was like the Pussycat Doll fans, and then there were people that were coming to almost like share your experiences and support you inside the Pussycat Dolls, which was quite strange. The internet is filled with fan videos of you singing on stage, which is quite strange. Have you found that a lot of that has come with you over the years, that like those group of people supporting you?
Yeah. I mean, I've tried to really, that's a totally different subject. I've tried to really not let the pressure get to me. It's taken me a really long time to create my own music, and I've done that on purpose because, well, I needed to get back to feeling like a human being again, you know? And I get a lot of requests like, release music now. And I'm like, you're just gonna have to wait. Because I need to be happy and I need to be in a good place to do that. But I would say, I think that those people would come back even if I lost them. I just try and be as genuine as possible. You know, this record, I have an album that's also inspired by 60s and 70s music. It's got this Western influence.
We're going to talk to you about this because it does sound like that is your era.
Yeah.
It's very like there's some bluesy moments and like the guitar and it's so far removed from all the other music we'd heard you sing on. So it's like instruments. So I mean that must have been quite refreshing, a good change.
Well, that's what I grew up on, and that's really what that's my passion. Whenever I go into a building, in Los Angeles with some big wig who says this isn't going to work, like you're not going to make any money on this. I'm like, I don't care. This is what I want to do. This is when I don't really care to be famous. Like that's a big thing. Like I'm going to move to Hollywood and I'm going to be famous. I'm like, I want to be celebrated as a vocalist. And the way that happens is the day I die, people are like, oh my God, like I remember watching her on this or that. And like, she made me want to sing. And that's how it's a cycle. It just keeps repaying itself.
The Christina cycle, we'll call it.
Or like, I'm sure Whitney did that for her. You know what I mean? I'm sure that Whitney's mom did that for her. So yeah, I think music is a universal language, and when you have a gift, you have to share it. And it's not about you.
Yep.
It's never about you.
Yep.
Yeah,
and speaking of Whitney Houston, this is an artist who you know pretty well. I've done some research. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, The Bodyguard.
Bam.
Yeah.
What was that like? It seemed like this is a dream role for a vocalist because, let's face it, she had some pipes, Whitney. And, I mean, it must have been fun. It must have been enjoyable for you.
Yeah, you know what? We were in China, mainland China, and there's a lot of pollution. And I was like, oh, man. I wonder if it would be easier if it was somewhere else and not like checking my app every day, like dangerously high pollution levels. Because you'd walk outside and your eyes would be burning. You're like, wow, my throat's burning. I'm going to go sing 14 Whitney Houston songs.
No, not the easiest songs to sing.
No. So what I did, I had to do a lot of studying, a lot more study. It made me love her more, honestly.
Wow.
I had to kind of study a lot of her live performances and look for bailouts. Like, okay, if I'm having trouble with this, I know that when she had to
change her tone. She can say, am I going to hit that note today, or I can do something else?
Yeah, exactly. I call them bailouts.
Wow.
Like what really good vocalists, what they do in the moment to kind of like the audience has no idea that that's going on, or that they didn't want it to go that way. So I was always studying her, researching her, and looking for bailouts.
And when you hit those notes, on the good notes, and and you hit them, you're like, yeah.
I was really proud of myself. After that, I was like,
spectacular.
Good for you, sister. Yeah, because it was, it was intense. And all of the lines and, all, the dialogue and the emotion. And I think I cried almost every night during I Will Always Love You.
Wow.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it's quite incredible. Because you were doing that over in China.
Yes.
But you look at your career and how you've traveled and how you've toured. You have been absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
You've explored all through. You've been to Australia, Europe, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of those experiences traveling, maybe in the places that are a little bit more different? And different. What was traveling through the Middle East, performing over there like?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I was going to actually mention Egypt. That was, I know it's Africa, but even still, it was very different culturally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, really, like, it took my breath away, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, who did all this? You guys did this? Like, you made this? That's insane. And just to be able to perform in places like that, like performing in front of the pyramids, you know, like with a stage set up, you're like, am I being disrespectful to some ancient, you know what I mean? Like, is this allowed? But yeah, no, I've had some really good moments. Azerbaijan, I really loved.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? I know that's probably asking you to pick your favorite child, but do you have a favorite location and country to perform in?
Oh God, I don't have a favorite. Okay. I'll say that, but I did enjoy Egypt. That was really cool until I got detained. Like they lost my luggage, and then they stole my clothes, and then I got detained at the airport, and I barely made my flight, and yeah.
You got detained?
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Is there anything that you use?
I didn't do anything. They said I had a gun.
I know.
I was like, no, I don't. They go, yeah, you have bullets.
Look,
and I said,
did you have a gun?
No, you know
what?
what?
No, you can be honest here. You're amongst friends. Yeah.
No, you know what I had was I had this like, because my music is all like Tarantino-esque, you know, it's like Western sounding music. And so I had this cross draw, dual cross draw leather thing, and it had these fake bullets.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just like as an accessory.
Okay.
And so they were like, you have bullets, you have a gun. I was like, no, I don't, please let me go.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Did they frisk you? Did they do the whole deal?
They didn't frisk me. They just said, you got money, just go away.
Oh wow. Please tell me you bribed
No, I
security
didn't. I held on to my money. I was like, look, no, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah, but I made my flight. I made my flight.
Just as long as you made your flight.
I made my flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I had a lot of missing clothing, but whatever.
Okay, because I mean, flying seems to be a huge part of your trip. You're leaving tomorrow. You're going to the UK.
I'm leaving tomorrow. from here, so it's 24-hour travel.
Oh dear! And when you land, what will you be doing when you hit the ground? Will you just be straight to a gig?
Yeah, actually, I think so. Yeah, I'm doing some filming there.
Okay, because you seem to be doing so much. You've done such an array of different television shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to talk about Dancing on Ice because I'd think that ice is probably one of the least forgiving materials you could fall on.
Yeah.
And it's something that you'd be very familiar with, considering you ate the ice at one stage. I mean, can you tell us about that experience? What was that show like?
I want to say it was maybe the week before we had done this really insane move, which was called the headbanger. And okay, to explain it quickly, so your blade it's like a flat part, and then there's like, you know, two edges, and so I had to like get in on an edge and give him one leg, and then he swung me around by one leg, and I wasn't scared to do that. I was like, I love this. Next week, getting ready for the next performance, I don't know what happened. We tripped, and he had my arms. Yeah, so the female is the front of the diamond, and the male is the back with his hands this way.
Yep.
So when we fell, it was both of our speed, right? And I landed on my face, on my chin. I just remember, like, just keep your head up. Just keep your head up. Just slide on this part of your face.
Oh, gosh.
And I felt like it was going on for, like, 400 years. It would not end.
Just sliding on your face.
Yeah, I was like, let go of my arm. You know, and when he finally let go of my arms, I like slapped the ice, and my whole face was like
swollen.
Yeah, it was
a
pretty
little
bad.
tennis ball in there. I noticed.
Both my shoulders are still pretty bad.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah,
and
it's tough stuff.
As a true performer would, you jumped back up on stage. You
Yeah.
got back in the saddle.
We performed that weekend. Yeah. After I fell on my face, I was like, why am I doing this? Maybe I shouldn't do this. But, you know, I like to use, I call it harmless and fun reality to maintain visibility. But also, this is how I fund my music, you know?
Yeah.
This is how I keep talking about the music and you know, kind of get people really to identify with what it is that I'm saying.
Well, it lets people get to know you much better by sharing those fears and those challenges with you. I mean, it's not the first time you've done a reality television show, which is daunting. I mean, you went and jumped aboard the Bear Grylls experience.
Yeah,
what was that like? I mean, Bear Grylls, I need to get this off my chest, one of my heroes.
Yeah.
What a legend. I mean,
know,
what was it like doing a show with him?
Whenever I was around him, he's a married man. I'm not trying to be like this, okay? He's lovely. He just was built like, I can save you. I can save you. I can save you from a burning building.
Yeah.
Whatever your thing is, I got you. So whenever he would be around, I'd be like, yeah, what do I do? Like, tell me. It was tough.
Yeah.
There were no bailouts. There was no, no one sneaking us food. There was no, we were starving.
Oh, no.
We were starving.
At any point, did he try to convince you that drinking pee is a good idea? Because that seems to be his thing, right?
I didn't know what to expect. So you weren't supposed to bring anything in. I'm not going to rat on anybody, but all I did was bring in an empty bottle because I was like, in case I need to drink my pee, I want to put it somewhere.
I was joking, but yeah.
That was my thought. But I think some people snuck some stuff in. I was like,
wow.
And all I brought was this empty bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm so impressed that you were mentally prepared to go to that place. Like, if it gets desperate, I'm going to drink the pee.
I didn't know what to expect, you know? Luckily, I didn't have to drink my pee.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, we found a water source, and we had a hard time building a fire, but we did eventually.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to keep a fire going. That's what sucks.
Yep.
You know.
And this is one of your talents, right? I think that you were good at keeping the fire burning. And
it was my friend Ryan. Okay. He was really, really good about it. In the daytime, I'd try to collect as much wood as possible. I built a bed. I built 3 other beds for other castmates.
You're the bed builder.
I was the bed builder.
It's like a walking, talking IKEA right here.
I just was like, whatever, just get me off the ground, because there were these nocturnal crabs that would come out of the beach at night, and they'd pinch you. So you really slept for 20 minutes at a time before a crab would pinch you.
Wow.
And then you wake up, and then they go like this. Open their mouth and go like this sideways. I couldn't take any more of the crabs, so I had to build a bed. Yeah.
Okay.
I just couldn't stand
and you did it for others, which was quite cool. I mean, it puts bed bugs into perspective.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, those don't seem so bad when you think that crabs could be crawling underneath your covers.
Yeah, and for as many bug bites as we had, it was like, these are my friends.
Wow.
You know, these are my boys.
Yeah.
These are my buddies.
And it's nice that these aren't just the shows that you're doing. It's not just the, falling over and hurting yourself on the ice, the maybe having to drink your own pee and getting bitten by crabs, but at least that you also do shows which are a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentle, like, the dating celebrity show, which was a little bit sweeter. And as a vocalist, I mean, I'm sure you're used to sharing your thoughts and your feelings and your passions with the world. But even so, was it still difficult to go on a dating show because it's quite a personal kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that was the hardest one because because I don't have an answer for people when they're like, "Why are you single? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What if something's right with me?" I don't tolerate a lot of BS, and it's I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. You have to earn money for yourself. You have to take care of yourself, whatever lifestyle it is that you want. I'm all about get it for yourself. Right? And I can't explain. I don't want to say every man in the world is intimidated by women who take care of themselves, but don't you want someone who can add to your team? I see a relationship as a unit, right? Not cook
not
my
being
dinner,
a plus
girl.
one.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my dinner? Clean this house. That's so ancient, We're supposed to be working together, and so I'm just looking for someone who wants to work with me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a nightmare. I don't know.
Look, from my limited experience, you seem okay. Not nightmare material. I mean, what would you look for in someone?
Oh, I just want a man who's very proud of himself. I don't care what you do. Just do it with integrity, you know? It doesn't matter. But then it does. It's it becomes an issue, because I think that if you're not living the life where you're getting up and going and you sing on live television and you have those moments of those little minor victories, you start getting intimidated by it. What do we have in common?
Yeah.
I always get cheated on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really annoying.
It does sound annoying. It sounds more than annoying. It sounds.
It's painful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even cry anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just like, yep, knew that was coming.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Melody,
I
I
would
kind of want to give you a hug right now.
So I would say Celebs Go Dating was like one of the hardest ones because I was just trying to be really honest and you know, have fun at the same time. But then, you know, it's a jungle out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've never had to, try to find a man that treats me right. So definitely difficult.
Yeah, I don't get those people that like, how do you have someone new already? It's been years for me.
But would you want to go to, like someone in a similar field, like a musician? Would you consider having someone that's a performer as well?
I'm open to any man who respects himself and is proud of himself and you know, can take care of himself and would make a really good team with me. That's it, you know?
I mean, does this have anything to do with being like raised by what seems to be like quite a
militant father?
Yeah, just like a man. Your father, who I've been led to believe is someone who has worked as a sheriff, and he's a gun-toting dude. Cowboy.
He's a cowboy.
If you've been raised by a cowboy, does that mean that you're kind of a bit of a tomboy as well?
Right. My dad worked in law enforcement, and he's like really suspicious of everybody and always watching, and his predictions are always correct. Like I knew that was gonna happen. Whatever. Anyway, he definitely made me very sharp with respect to what's happening socially. Right. Like watch your surroundings and all this good stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if that means that. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and go, I'm intimidating. I'm not going to say that because I'm a nice girl.
Yeah.
And I'm fun.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I mean,
Look at me. I'm up here having fun.
I mean, you're dressed as a disco ball. I mean, you can't argue with that.
I'm wearing Christmas decorations. Who doesn't love that? No, I think, no, my dad was a good provider and he was a good protector as well. So sometimes when I'm dating... kind of a weenie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can probably bench press more than you. So don't, you know what I mean? Like, we're not making sense. I probably am spoiled in that way. Because my dad would, if someone was picking on me at school, Daddy, run home, Daddy.
And then he would kill that person.
And he'd show up at the school
and shoot them,
in his uniform, he had like a, police uniform or like a guard. He was a prison guard.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that like, not just insane. So like a tough cookie.
And
definitely.
Yeah, had to be tough mentally as well. Yeah.
Wow. So we have been getting some questions that have been coming through from some of the fans. And it's interesting that you raise bench pressing because someone wants to know what your typical diet and fitness regime is, living a life with so much travel, live shows, and singing every day. How do you do it? How do you stay fit? How do you stay healthy?
Oh, man. Yeah, I try and focus on, like, just meat and vegetables. It'd be great if I didn't eat meat. I have this fear that someday, like, my daughter's children will go, I can't believe you ate meat, Grandma. Like, I'm like, I know, it was the time. That's what we were doing. But I do. I try and focus on, like, just protein and vegetables and just don't eat bread. Just don't do it. Just don't eat sandwiches.
Look, I disagree with you.
I love a sandwich.
Oh, I love a sandwich.
It's really hard.
Yeah. I've gotten to the age of 33 and I've eaten so many less sandwiches with a little olive on top.
Yeah.
Cartoons gave me a really, erroneous idea of how many of those sandwiches I would eat. Look, moving away from sandwiches because it's going to make me hungry. We do have another question from Liz. She says, from Anonymous. What's been your favorite reality show that you've appeared on? Are you planning on appearing on anything in the near future? Or what would be your dream show to appear on?
I want to say that my favorite, like looking back, I was so proud after I did The Island with Bear Grylls. I mean, I was so proud. And truthfully, I love everybody on that cast. Like, we're still friends. We still chat. We send each other random messages from time to time.
Who do you talk to the most from that show?
We're on a group chat.
Oh, wow.
So we talk to everybody. Yeah, we're get on and have a a long session. Sometimes I wake up to like 44 messages, and I'm like, I bet it's the island chat.
Yeah.
Just love them.
Yeah.
I just love
Which
them.
celebrities were on that year?
It was Lucy Mecklenburg, Ryan Thomas, Shazia Mercer, Mark Dawson, stand-up comedians, those two. Myself, it was RJ Mitty from Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Yeah. And who else was it? Sharon Davies. She was a swimmer. She's I think she was Olympic.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Ewan Thomas. He was a runner.
And in that group, you guys just share recipes for like roadkill and survival things. Techniques on how to build beds in the desert.
Now we're in a really good place. Everyone's just joking all the time. It's good. Yeah. At first, it was a good support,
Please tell me you send each other Bear Grill memes like in that group.
Except the only one was the bear that had the thing with the grill, and it was like Bear Grylls. That was the only one I think that I've seen. I don't know if it was even in the chat, but that's the only one I've seen. Yeah, no, I would say that's probably my favorite. And I love ice skating.
Yeah.
I do. I love ice skating. Yeah.
I mean, still terrifying. You wouldn't see me on the ice.
It's really cool once you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Maybe hockey could be your next step. I'm sure Theo, your dad,
I'm
would
cool
be
on
very proud.
hockey.
Yeah.
I like the figures that that you make in the ice. That's the figure skating. I like skating by myself.
Okay. Now, Emily would like to ask, having been a part of so many projects in your career, which of the projects are you the most proud of? That's a big question.
Yeah, that is. That's a hard question, too, because I feel like I haven't done anything.
I feel like giving you suggestions. Surely The Bodyguard. I mean,
The Bodyguard was great. Yeah, that was great. Definitely very cool. I love Whitney Houston. But I guess I'm just so creative, I feel like I've been holding back. That's true. It's true. I've been writing for years, and I have so many songs, and I'm like, it's not right yet.
I mean, the next obvious question here
is,
when are you releasing?
I
Where are
know.
these tunes? Where are they kind of where are you nurturing them? Where are they growing?
I have a project. It's ready to go. I've got 2 music videos.
Fantastic.
The thing about funding it yourself is just that you want to have everything ready, and then you want to have a cushion of money to put behind it. You need that funding so that it doesn't fail, or that it gets the best chance that it possibly can. So I'm still kind of filtering money into the project and getting visuals together and all this good stuff. But I really hope at some point this year.
Can you give us the inside scoop? Can you let us know what it's like? What the sound is like sonically? Give us some character.
Yeah, so it's all 1960s and 70s inspired. And like I said, it's like a Quentin Tarantino film score.
Wow.
And I kind of write music for movies. It's very cinematic. Every song it evokes a different emotion, and it will really take you there. If you're running on the treadmill, I think people like to work out to really fast music. I run to my music because it's triumphant in moments, and it makes me feel really powerful. So yeah, there's one song called Lioness Eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's I like to call the whole project it's from innocence to experience, because you don't go from innocence to guilt. You learn lessons in life that make you more powerful. And the second to the last song is called Lioness Eyes, and it's like that's what happens when you become a woman. And you can't mess with that woman. You see in a woman's eyes, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with her. She looks like she can take care of herself.
Is this like an autobiographical song? Is this following maybe your journey in the past 10 years?
It has,
it
yeah,
definitely
exactly.
sounds like this could be a journey, your journey.
Totally, absolutely, yeah. The first song is called Pray For Me, because that's what you do when you're scared and you're a little girl and you're like, I'm in the world by myself. I call my mom, I ask her to pray for me. I ask my grandma to pray for me, and cut to Lioness Eyes, where she knows herself now. She's got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And final question, when do you think we can expect to hear Lioness Eyes?
Oh, man. I think you'll hear something at later this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll hear something. The entire project, obviously, I want to get it together. I want to make sure that I don't drop a song and then you're waiting for a record, for the whole album. So, yeah.
Okay.
I just got to earn more money.
Yeah. Well, we'll make sure we keep our ear to the floor because it sounds like a spectacular track and we're very, very excited to hear it. But thank you so much for coming in, looking so spectacular.
Thank you.
Quick round of applause for Melody Thornton. This has been the Build Series Sydney with Melody.
Joking.